I want to talk to you about my favorite types of businesses. Many of you know that I'm an entrepreneur. If I had a zone of genius, if there was an area that I excelled at in life that was almost factory installed for me, it would be the ability to make money. I am good at seeing trends, finding opportunities, connecting dots that create money in exchange for value, right? So with that said, let's jump into the types of business that I like and that you might actually want to start. So I'm going to break it down into three categories: products, like product industry, manufacturing industry, and service industry. So let's get started with the product industry first. And the product industry is pretty cool because, for example, t-shirts, right? Like Fuel Hunt. Fuel Hunt makes t-shirts, makes apparel, makes hats, makes fight wear, and high quality stuff, but got to have all the different sizes, all the different colors, all the different SKUs, all the different designs. And so when you're in the product industry, you're in a business where you constantly have to create new designs and new products in order to get those customers to buy again. Nothing wrong with the product industry, just letting you know, whether it's hats, shoes, apparel, water bottles, it doesn't matter, gloves, right? The product industry means you have to produce or purchase stuff first, and then you are selling it for a profit. And so understand that when you're in the product industry, you have to have a lot of capital, a lot of money, because you are parking a lot of money on shelves and then selling that product for a profit, at which point you can start reusing that money to invest in more product and, of course, to invest in your lifestyle as well. So that's thing one, product industry, right? Then there's manufacturing. So let's say you might manufacture, I wrote swords or axes, right? At the project, we give away, all the graduates get a project axe with their project class number on it, burnt into the handle. And on the other side, it says the project, like somebody manufactured that specific thing, right? So if you're making things, if you're manufacturing this table here, if you're manufacturing a microphone, you're in a process of an assembly line where you're building things out, you're manufacturing cars, right? Like Ford, GM, Dodge, they manufacture vehicles. The dealerships sell a product, right? So when Ford manufactures a vehicle, they're in the manufacturing industry. They take parts and pieces that they buy from everywhere, put it together, create a car or a truck, and then they sell those trucks and cars to a dealership, and the dealership sees that car or truck as a product. Manufacturing means you have to now get equipment. You have to have big, giant warehouse floor space. Like your footprint has to be big enough to manufacture. So understand that manufacturing is very labor intensive and requires even more financial capital than a product business. And finally, there is the service industry. The service industry is pretty cool because, now keep in mind, all of these also come with different benefits. The product industry, for example, whether it's Fuel Hunt or Truline or a company that sells water bottles like Hydro Flask, right? Let's say. Remember, as these companies get big enough, there's private equity out there and there's competitors out there that might want to buy them out, right? And so if you're in you're of the mindset that, hey, I might want to one day sell my business, then guess what? You could sell a product that way. You got to get big enough and you can sell your product for a multiple of whatever, 5x, 7x, 10x. I'm also an investor in a software company. That software is actually being shopped around right now, and we're likely to get anywhere from 12 to 15x the EBITDA, basically the quarterly profits. You add them up and make them into annual profits. The annual profits, imagine getting 15x that when you go to sell, right? So the cool thing about a product or about a manufacturing plant is you could sell to a bigger conglomerate who wants to buy you as you get bigger, right? Now, services, you can do the same thing with services, but not all the time. And so let's talk about that. There are services, for example, that are one-off services. My coaching service. I have a business coaching and consulting service, right? The 12-month domination year. Someone pays me $100,000. They get 2 half-day sessions with me, one on month number 1, one on month number 6. We do our monthly phone coaching calls, etc. And I help them scale their business even bigger. That coaching business, no matter how profitable and big it gets, I'm trading time for dollars. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is it's me dependent. I have to be running it, and therefore I can't sell it. So coaching shows up in a lot of ways. Maybe you do marriage coaching, business coaching. Maybe you do fitness coaching, nutrition coaching, mindset coaching. You might do high performance coaching, right? Like psychological coaching, helping people get over their shit. Whatever it is that you do, that's a service. It's a coaching business. Now, can you scale a coaching business? Absolutely. But it requires you having a team under you, right? Another type of service business is franchising, right? I also own Fit Body Bootcamp, right? We have hundreds of locations all over the world. They're about 3,000 to 4,000 square foot locations. You go in there, you get an awesome 30-minute workout, functional workouts designed to burn fat, build muscle in 30 minutes, group coaching program. Awesome program. It's definitely a service, but it's a franchise. Every location is independently owned and operated. What I do as the franchisor is I sell the franchisee the concept. We go, hey, here's a proven concept, and we're going to coach you and tell you exactly where to find a location, how to sign the lease, how to negotiate that lease, how to build out your location, how to open, how to hire your coaches, how to hire staff, how to price it, etc. All of it, how to do the marketing. And we also help you do the marketing. That's the beautiful thing about a franchise. Doesn't matter if it's a Subway sandwich franchise or a Jersey Mike's or a Jiffy Lube, could be a yogurt franchise, a fitness franchise like Fit Body Bootcamp. You're selling a system, and therefore that location is independently owned and operated, but that location is paying me, the franchisor, a monthly royalty fee because of the systems and the support and the processes we're giving them, right? They don't have to do the guesswork. They don't have to problem solve. They don't have to figure things out because the franchise system has already figured that out. We've already figured that out and we coach them through it, right? So understand, as you're building a business, you also have to start looking at it, whether it's a product, manufacturing, or service. Is this going to be sellable? Am I going to want to sell it in the future? If I don't want to sell it, what's my plan? Do I have someone in line to succeed me? Do I have a family member I could pass it down to? Do I have my kids I can pass it down to? Do my kids even want to run it? And if they don't, then what do I do? So my theory is always this: build businesses so that you can sell, ideally, but if you can't sell it, then they better at least be a very high profiting business so that if and when you're done doing that, you can step away from it and not feel any loss from it because you made so many years of such great income and it really helped you leverage yourself. Now that we know you can break businesses down into businesses that you can sell and businesses that you might want to hold on to and businesses that are product-based, manufacturing-based, and of course service-based, let's talk about scaling factors, right? What are the things that you can do to scale a business? Well, number one, you got to ask yourself, can I delegate this? If you can delegate, then you can grow, right? And this is why, for example, we have several Fit Body Bootcamp owners that own multiple locations. They own multiple Fit Body Bootcamp locations because they can delegate. That franchisee bought a location from us and first operated as a owner-operator. Then they bought another location from us in another territory, and now they got a second location, third location, fourth location. Like my friend Ben Jones has 8 locations throughout Arizona. He has 8 Fit Body Bootcamp locations. He is delegating and scaling by putting a facility manager in every Fit Body Bootcamp that he opens, right? That facility manager obviously manages that location and does the sales. There's also an assistant working the front desk. And then there are coaches who run the Fit Body Bootcamp classes. So that is very important. Delegation is a scale factor. What else is a scale factor? Can I automate a process, right? If you can automate a process, that allows you to scale. If you can, for example, go from narrow to wide. In other words, narrow means, all right, let's say this is a coaching program just for men. Here's a great example, The Project. I run The Project. It is a coaching program for men who are high speed, who feel like there's a greater sense of purpose waiting for them on the other side of their limiting beliefs that they need to break through. Like, that is a very specific type of man I'm looking for. The dude who's suffering in silence, white knuckling through life, has greater purpose, and he knows it, but he knows it's on the other side of getting over his limiting beliefs. Now, can I scale that to a wider audience? Like, if I wanted to work with more types of people, I might be able to change the messaging and say, hey, this is for all men. Doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you have a job. This is for all men. I could even go wider. I might say, hey, this is for men and women, right? But I also know that the quality of the service and the outcome, the results that it would deliver, would diminish if I went wider on that market space. So I keep the project clientele very narrow. I go very narrow and deep. But there are some industries that you ask yourself, hey, can I go wide, as in both genders? Now maybe even all 19 genders, right? Number one. Number two, can I have different age groups that I could sell to? That's another wide. Do I have different ways of marketing? That's another way of going wide. So think about that as you're starting a business. Can I go wide in terms of my reach? And if so, then you got yourself another opportunity there to scale. Also, can it be delivered in a group environment instead of one-on-one? Great example of scaling. You can have a gym that does one-on-one personal training, but the cost of your overhead cost is going to be through the roof. It's going to be super expensive, right? Because you're paying all these individual personal trainers to run one-on-one personal training sessions, which means your payroll is going to be through the roof. Whereas Fit Body Bootcamp is scalable because it's one-on-many. We do it in a group environment. 1 trainer to 15 clients. 2 trainers to 30 clients, 3 trainers or coaches, as we call them, to 45 clients. And you see how it becomes scalable, right? And so you have to ask yourself, can it be done in a group? And another scale factor then is, can it be sold through affiliates? In other words, if it can be sold through affiliates by others, through referral marketing. A great example of that is anything that's multi-level marketing. Now, I have a resistance to multi-level marketing. That doesn't mean that that's what you should also feel. I just don't like multi-level marketing because it ain't my thing. I've had a few bad experiences with it, and I'm not interested in going to my brother and my cousin and my sister and my uncle and saying, hey, you ought to do this. And if you buy this product and you're under me and then you keep selling it, then I get to make more money, and you get to make more money, then you get more people under you and they get to make, that ain't me. That ain't me, right? But that is a true scalable business model, affiliates, multi-level marketing, where you can use others to get more people into your business. So that's a scale factor. Now let's talk about profit maximizers, because I want you to understand something here. When you're building a business, you might make a lot of revenue, but if you're not making any profit, you're working for free. Revenue feeds the ego. Profits feed the family. Never forget that. Profitability is the reason we become entrepreneurs, so that we can control the amount of money we get to take home and live off of and do good things with and give our family experiences with, right? So here are some profit maximizers for you. Think about this. You might ask yourself, can this product have levels to it, right? And usually the levels are, can you make them better at what they do? Can you make the process easier? Can you make them more profitable? Can you get them better results? Like all the level 2s, does the level 2 have better status? Maybe it's limited in quantities, right? And so when you think about that, something that you are going to buy that has a higher value proposition might have a limitation to it. Number 2, can it be reoccurring? Another profit maximizer. Can you create subscription or reoccurring monthly fee? I mean, you've seen Amazon do this, right? You go to buy a product, it's like, hey, do you want to subscribe and save 10% every month? And every month we'll send you a new bottle, new box, new thing, right? So understand subscription works. Netflix, Amazon Prime, that's all subscription. Like think of all the things that you're subscribed to. What can you do or create that you can, or what can you add on to your existing product or service that you have? And you're like, I don't know, Bedros, my product can't have subscription. Let me tell you, there's a lot of apparel companies that I know of that have the box of the month club. And then of course, can you sell it as a experience? That's a profit maximizer. If you can build your status, your personal brand to a level where you can start selling and experience. You can now charge more and therefore increase your profits. So you got to ask yourself, what can I do to build my personal brand? We live in a time now where you can use YouTube, podcasting, social media platforms like this that I'm on right now, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, to begin to build your personal brand, to become a celebrity in an industry. And when you become the celebrity in an industry, you rise to the top, and you could literally manufacture celebrity of yourself. Like, make no mistake about it. It's not like we're walking celebrities. Like, I realize I'm not a celebrity. I've manufactured celebrity using social media and platforms to be able to share knowledge, share content, add value. And as a byproduct of doing that, I've increased the worth of my time and being around me. And therefore, when I have a workshop, a seminar, a mastermind, I can charge a premium for it, right? Instead of charging a couple $100 for a 2-day workshop, I can charge $5,000 for a 2-day workshop. And so understand that you can do that by displaying your knowledge, expertise, wisdom. You can then begin to elevate yourself on this pyramid of hierarchy from being a generalist to a specialist to an expert to a celebrity at the very top of that pyramid, right? And when you become an industry celebrity, you can charge more for the same product or service and therefore increase your profit margins. So that's the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur, man. There's so many ways you can slice and dice this pie, right? And because of those things, when I take work ethic and the ability to scale and automate, delegate, and leverage, and I put those things together, it's like creating a nuclear bomb as an entrepreneur. And then you become a better leader, and you can lead amazing humans who work with you, in line with you, to be able to scale this vision that you all believe in together. Like, how cool is that? It's like working with your best friends, man. And so I want you to understand that you can do this too. Or you could also say, hey, man, I'm going to be a copywriter and I'm going to work off my laptop. And you can make yourself 15, 20, 30 grand a month being a copywriter or being a phone salesperson, selling for other people. You don't even have to sell your own shit. You can sell for other people and make commission and do it from anywhere and travel the world. The beauty of entrepreneurship allows you to be able to do things on your terms, but you have to understand what types of businesses exist out there, what types of opportunities those businesses give you, and how you should leverage those opportunities to increase scalability and to increase profitability so that you, my friend, can have an awesome life.